West, this was white man's justice. And Indian justice was as deadly and as final. It took a long time for men to accept the great truth that a man was innocent until proven guilty. And until that time, blind hatred kept alive the threat of deadly war.
I can't find hide or hair, Jefford.
I see no cause for Jefford's presence. You had your hearing. Now let's get this over and done with.
Well, this thing's got to be handled proper, particularly when there's no judge handy to sit in. Jefford's kind of represents the federal government.
Well, so do you. You're marshal, ain't you?
Only I ain't been put in charge of them Apaches the way he had. Look, Fulton, Jefford saw the Indian. You can't pass sentence without hearing what he has to say, can you now?
Maybe you lost your hearing, Marshal. But this man here told you that that redskin tried to rob my store and killed Julie before his very eyes. Ain't that true?
That's right. One man's testimony's got a right to be stacked up against another.
But you saw them guns he was trying to steal splattered all over the back of my store. What kind of testimony do you want? Well, it's enough for me.
Me too.
Good. How about you folks? Doc, what about you?
I say, let's wait for Jeffords.
Doc, you wouldn't be siding with an Indian, would you?
No, just with the law, Indian or not.
Now you're talking like Jeffords. I suppose having red skin gives this cutthroat the right to go around killing folks. Come on, let's get over the street.
that whip, Ed. I take it you came here to stop this.
You can't stop a flood with a sieve. From the looks of things, this Indian ain't got a prayer.
He's not the man.
And who told you that?
I'm telling you, Silas.
Oh, just like that, huh? And at the last minute. After you stayed clear during all the trouble.
Where you been, anyhow?
Chasing the real killer.
I don't see him with you.
And he left his mark all right on my leg. Just about the time I lost him at Devil's Rock.
It's a good thing we caught him for you.
Boy would no more shoot me than he'd shoot his own father. I know him. He used to run alongside of me and retrieve quail during hunting time.
While hunting with Cochise, I reckon.
This killer you chased, get close enough to see his face?
Not exactly. I tell you, this boy is Winnoa. He's the son of one of Cochise's elders. I would have recognized him easily.
Who do you think it might have been?
There's a small band of Apache renegades outside of town. Must be up from Mexico. Could have been one of them.
Oh, is that so? I suppose next you'll be calling an impartial outsider like Mr. Hawkins here a liar.
I didn't say that.
Then how is it he saw that redskin kill my daughter, Julie?
I couldn't tell you.
Then I'll tell you. Because he isn't tied to Cochise's bootstraps. That's why.
This is for a court to decide, not you and me. Carla, do not understand. Smoke signals told Cochise I was coming.
Smoke signals told nothing of my son. He goes to hunt, never comes back. Your people take him.
Winnoa is unharmed.
He did nothing.
I know. That's why I come to speak with Cochise.
Your people do not do what they speak.
Take me to Cochise. You may listen and judge for yourself.
Stand guard.
I've told you all I know. If there's any doubt as to its truth, tell me.
I do not doubt your words. I trust you, but not your people's will for justice. I will come to the trial.
What for?
To see justice done.
You must not.
Leave us. I wish to speak alone.
You must let me fight this out myself. It's the only way.
There is one other way. Find the guilty one. When I made peace, I broke this arrow. Ocala was there to watch it done. But now his heart will not reach out beyond that day. Just as those who sit in judgment of his son will not let their hearts reach out beyond the color they see in his skin.
The arrow of truth must be in one piece to find the target, in war or injustice. I cannot give this half direction without your half to give it flight.
Wisely spoken, for you and me. But wisdom is a virtue of few, and you and I must answer to many.
Trust me. You must not come to the trial.
There will be many whites there, but it's the life of one Indian that will be at stake, and he will be alone.
That's exactly it. You wouldn't be helping him. When they see you there, it'll be like pouring coal oil on a fire.
There was a time, not long ago, when I started many fires. No harm must come to Winnoa.
2 Indian wars. They killed his son and burned his ranch down.
Playing with a stacked deck. Jury's made up almost entirely of Baldwin's friends.
Mr. Walters.
The prosecution will now call its star witness. Will Mr. Chester Hawkins please take the stand?
Raise your right hand, place left hand on the Bible. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Mr. Hawkins, up to now, it has been established, and all have agreed, that it was an Indian that was seen fleeing Silas's store after he tried to rob it and killed his daughter, Julie. From what I hear tell, you were in the store at the time.
That's right, sir.
Did you get a good look at the Indian?
Yes, sir, I did. But when I tried to take his knife away from him, he knocked me cold.
Can you identify him?
I can, sir.
If he's in this room, would you mind pointing him out to us?
Well, yes, sir, I do mind. Because I really want no part of this town's private quarrels.
Go on, tell him.
And you don't mind a murderer being on the loose?
Oh, yes, sir, of course I do. But well, it was that man over there.
Looks like you just lost the case, Tom, without even getting started.
That kid's looking straight into the mouth of a double-barreled shotgun. If they convict him, they'll hang him sure. If by some miracle I get him off, they'll probably lynch him anyway. Either case, we'll have Cochise on our necks.
Does the defense attorney have anything to say?
I sure do, Judge. I'd like to call Mr. Ed Jones as my first witness.
Give it to him, Ed.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, to help you God?
I do.
What's your name?
Ed Jones, Tom. You've known me for 10 years.
Just answer the question.
Are you the man that captured the defendant?
Sure am.
Where'd you pick him up?
About 4 or 5 miles out of town, along Cow Creek.
What direction is that?
You know that as well as I do, Tom. That's south on the road to Mexico.
You know this country pretty well, don't you, Ed?
Well, you're the only one that knows it any better.
Maybe you'll tell me where Devil's Rock is.
You trying to kid me, Tom? Everybody knows that Devil's Rock's about 8 miles northwest of town.
Your Honor, I know this is a little irregular, the attorney acting as a witness. But I'd like it placed on the record that the Indian that I saw leaving Silas's store, the real killer, got away from me at Devil's Rock, just about the time that Ed was picking up the defendant 15 miles to the south.
How do we know that, Judge? All we've got is Jeffords' word. He'd do anything to save an Indian.
You know they did.
Order in the court.
That'll be all, Ed. Thanks.
No, it's true.
I would now like to call the defendant to the stand.
Bring the prisoner up here. Jeffords.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like to request a recess.
Very well. Court is adjourned till 3 o'clock. Maybe we better notify the military.
Not yet.
Order in the court. I ain't aiming to wait much longer. If defense don't show in another minute, I'll appoint a new counsel.
Jeffords is just stalling. We gotta take things into our own hands. Julie's dead. You're not gonna let me die.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, the defense is ready to continue its case.
That's just what we've been waiting for.
I'd like to call Mr. Hawkins to the stand.
Hawkins, to the stand.
Mr. Hawkins, would you kindly tell the court what type of guns you brought to this town for sale?
I object. What possible connection can that have with an Indian robbing a store and killing a girl?
Maybe if you'd keep your mouth shut long enough, we'd all find out. Proceed.
I'm referring particularly to the case of guns from which you saw the defendant steal several rifles.
Yes, sir. They're the latest and finest models manufactured by the Johnston brothers, a reputable Eastern concern.
A rifle? Would this be one of them?
Certainly is.
That proves it. He gave the rifle to his chief after robbing my store.
What are we waiting for? Let's hang the whole bunch of them.
Come on.
I'll teach this meeting to have respect for the court if it takes lead to do it. Now go on. Sit down, all of you. Sit down. Proceed.
You recognize this coin?
Yes, sir. The Mexican coin.
It wouldn't by any chance belong to you.
I do all my trading this side of the border.
That isn't what I asked you. Is this your coin, Mr. Hawkins?
No.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hawkins. That'll be all. The court's permission, I'd like to call Chief Cochise to the stand. Just tell him why you came here, Cochise.
I came to take home one of my people.
What gives you the right to take him home?
Justice. It has already been done. The guilty one is dead.
Who is the guilty one?
Ocala! You may bury him. We do not want him.
Can you tell the court who he is?
A renegade, belonging to a pack of roaming wolves, who came here to bargain for new guns with that man.
How did you learn of this?
He was dying of bullet wounds. He came to my people's camp, asking to be buried on his ancestors' hunting grounds.
Did he say who inflicted those bullet wounds?
Yes. A white man giving him chase into the hills.
How did he lose that white man?
By returning fire with the stolen rifle.
Mr. Hawkins. No need for you to take the stand for me to finish this up. Is it not true that that now dead Apache renegade came to Silas's store looking to trade with you for some of these rifles? And is it not true that the leader of his band gave him a small sack of Mexican gold pieces for that trade? And is it not true that the quarrel between you and him, which caused Miss Julie to be killed, came from that renegade keeping some of these very gold pieces for himself? Here they are. The killer still had them when he came crawling to Cochise's camp. Here are the rest of them.
Mister, that was a dead sure aim from the hip.
The defense rests.
Mr. Hawkins, you're under arrest. Case dismissed.
promised my people to return this boy. You promised your people justice. It was good to keep a promise.
Took both of us, Cochise, to do what neither one of us could do alone.
And at 4 Eastern, John Hoyt guest stars on Laredo, here on CBN.